everyone, welcome back to Tully Television. Today we're going to be presenting another musical spotlight, and this time that musical spotlight, I'll give you a couple of little hints here, maybe you can figure it out. Candy girl, you've been on my mind. How about this? Mr. Telephone Man. Yes, if you haven't guessed by now, the musical spotlight this time is New Edition. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank you once again for stopping by Tully Television. If you can do all that beautiful YouTube stuff, like, share, comment, let me know who your favorite New Edition member is down below. What's your favorite song by New Edition? Let me know. If you have any other boy groups that you like, hit them down below. But let's get right into it, guys. New Edition. Now, these guys got together in the 70s, okay? They grew up in the Roxbury neighborhood section of Boston, Massachusetts. The great majority of them, if not all of them, they were MCA artists. When they got signed, 20 million albums sold worldwide. Fantastic. The reason why they were called New Edition was because they were going to be a new edition of the Jackson 5. New Edition is like a group that sings R&B, love songs, that type of stuff. And with the success of Jackson 5, other music studios wanted to capture getting young heartthrobs out there. So magazines like Teen Beat and Tiger Bop, maybe? I'm trying to think of those teenage versions of the gossip rags. You know, you want the girls picking up the posters and putting it up of, their favorite artists and stuff. And the young cells, youth cells. The members of New Edition: Bobby Brown, Ralph Tresvant, Ronnie DeVoe, Michael Bivins, Johnny Gill, Ricky Bell. These guys have had success of varying degrees in the music industry as New Edition and on their own. My personal favorite out of the group, musically, was Bobby Brown. I know more of his life. He has been more in the spotlight for his misbehaving ways. He has been recovering addict and alcoholic. I'm not sure if he's still suffering with those ailments today. He was married to Whitney Houston, and we know, unfortunately, how that tragedy ended. His daughter too. That was a tragedy as well. And no matter what you may feel for someone and mistakes they make or not, I personally wouldn't want to, even on my greatest enemy, I would not want to wish the death of his wife and daughter. That would be like a line you wouldn't cross even with your worst enemy. You would, want to leave that part, the problems with him, not with those around him. So I think that's why maybe people will know Bobby Brown a little bit more because of his antics in his personal life with the narcotic use, and then the tragedy around the passing of his ex-wife or wife. I forget if they were still together or not. and then the passing of his daughter. Like I said, whatever you feel of him on a personal level, you know, that was a rough patch to get through. We do I have a list of albums here that they put out. 1983, Candy Girl. 1984, A New Edition. 1985, All for Love. 1986, Under the Blue Moon. 1988, Heartbreak. 1996, Home Again. 2004, One Love. Now, I'm not sure if the 1983 Candy Girl album is just a single that they put out and they're counting it as an album. And 2004 was a Bad Boy production, the One Love. If I'm mistaken that, let me know down below. All the other albums and songs related to them that they're primarily known for are under the MCA label. Some of their top songs have been Candy Love, which has reached #1. Cool It Now has reached #1. Cool It Now. Mr. Telephone Man, Can You Stand the Rain? Popcorn Love, and Is This the End are some of the more well-known songs. There was a there was, never mind. There was a BET limited series. The actors who played the New Edition people. Bryce Shear Gray played Michael Blevins. Elijah Kelly played Ricky Bell. Luke James played Johnny Gill. Woody McClain played Bobby Brown. Keith Powers plays Ronnie DeVoe. And Algie Smith plays Ralph Tresvant. As evolution of music happens, when New Edition kind of died down a little bit, there was a group within the group that came out, Belle Biv DeVoe, and they've had some hits on their own. One of them you may hear every so often at a club or a house party, and that's Poison. That girl is poison. That's a well-known song, and that's a Belle Biv DeVoe jam right there. And again, as evolution even happens more, they were involved with creating a youth group called the ABC, Another Bad Creation. They were not as successful as Belle Biv DeVoe or New Edition, but the one song I can still remember from my middle school days is the song Playground by ABC. And so it's wild how from like the mid 70s, when these guys got together and kind of realized that they had something going on, that they were able to evolve so much into the music game from there, because a lot of boy bands and R&B bands, kind of even just solo acts who are trying to be R&B, you're not going to tell me we're not influenced by New Edition on any level. They were on the cutting they're on the cutting edge of fashion, of music, and anybody who's anybody that is a fan of music has heard a New Edition song. I think they're fantastic, and it's not going to be an act so readily made again, because you can have bands like boy bands like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and they did their thing, no doubt. But I don't think they were on the level of New Edition. I can't really think of any boy bands or like that would really strike me as like the level of chemistry and the level of talent that those guys had. It's hard to really come across that, because like if you look at Backstreet Boys, they didn't individually make anything or create music after that the way maybe Bobby Brown did, because Bobby Brown even made music. It's my prerogative. You're not getting that with Aaron Carter. You're not getting that with the other members of Backstreet Boys. In NSYNC, yes, you have Justin Timberlake, who I love, so he gets the pass. Joey Fatone, and I'm not fat shaming anyone. I'm fat too. He's not on any sort of yes, he's known as a member of NSYNC, but he's, Lance Bass, he made waves not so much for his music, but I think for his for other things. Justin Timberlake was the only one out of those two major boy bands I've mentioned that really had any influence on music past the boy band stage, at least with New Edition, that almost all of them had some sort of success in the music business. And I think that's why they will never be touched or overtaken as the ultimate group act from that time period. Now, I'm not trying to say they're better than the Jackson 5. I'm not trying to say they're better than the Temptations or Sly and the Family Stone. I'm not trying to say that they're better than those acts whatsoever. But what I'm trying to say is in that R&B field that they were encompassing, and the tentacles they reached out into the music business from that time period, I don't think can be matched too much the way they have. If you can point out a group that individually and even a smaller group within the group made impacts and waves into the music business the way New Edition has, let me know down below. And I'm talking about like the multiple members of it, not just like Justin Timberlake out of NSYNC. I'm talking about other members in that group going out and advancing and making waves the way that New Edition did. That's my spotlight on New Edition. I think they're a great act. I think they all have done a great legacy for themselves as far as musically is concerned. As far as personally, that's a discussion for another time. Trying to keep a little light on this. You let me know what you think down below, though. If there's other musical acts that came around that time or after that had the same impact that I'm talking about, let me know. Maybe I'm being totally oblivious to it and I can't even think of it. But I'm up for your opinion, guys. Without you guys interacting, I'm just some guy babbling here in my living room. So yeah, do all that great stuff, man. Comment, subscribe, and keep coming back. And until next time, peace, Snookums.
Can you stand the rain?